Next is the process control block. Each process is represented in the operating system by a process control block associated with each process. Again I am repeating, a process control block is attached to each process that is represented or executing in a particular operating system. It is also sometimes known as task control block. This is the structure of that process control block. It contains the process state, process number, program counter, registers, memory limit, and list of open files. The process states, it shows the current state of a particular process, that is, it may be new, ready, running, waiting, or terminated. Next is process number. It is a special unique ID that is attached to a particular process by an operating system. This ID is used by operating system to give a unique ID to that particular process. Next is program counter. This counter indicates the address of the next instruction to be executed for this particular process. Next is CPU registers or registers. These registers vary in number and type depending upon the computer architecture. It may include accumulators, index registers, stack pointers, and general purpose registers. Next is the memory limit. This memory limit contains the information about the memory that holds or that is held by this particular process into the main memory. Next is list of open files. This includes the list of input-output devices and list of files that a particular process is acting on. This is how an operating system uses the PCB of a particular process for context switch. In this particular example, suppose we have two processes in the ready queue, ready to be executed, and mind it, I have already told you that we are using a single processor or a single CPU for execution of these particular or any number of processes. If it is a single CPU, it can only run or execute one particular process at one time. If one process is executing like this, P1 is executing, at this time the second process will be idle. If second process is executing, at that time particular process P1, P0 will be idle. For example, suppose P0 is executing at time T0. At T0 time, some interrupt occurs into the system or a system call comes. The execution of this particular P0 process stops or halted because of that interrupt, and the current state of this particular process P0 is stored into the PCB of this particular process. This is the PCB node. This PCB node is the special PCB attached to this particular process only. It contains the information or all the information that is required to again resume the activities of this particular process. We never want that we start this P0 process again by 0. So the current execution or some percentage of the execution that is already done or completed by this particular process P0 is stored into the PCB of that particular process. When this process holds, the CPU shifted to the second process that was also executed but is on hold because the CPU was attached to the process P0. Now CPU shifted to the process P1, so the operating system loads the PCB of one process from the PCB of that and it start executing. After some time it is possible that an interrupt occurs and all the execution till this T0 T1 time the process P1 has completed. All that information is stored now again in the PCB of this process 1. Now again CPU is free. CPU can easily shift to the PCB of, or you can say the process not. If we want to execute this particular process, we have to reload the PCB, not information from this, and if it reloads, it start executing. At this time the process P1 is again idle. This is how we use the PCB attached to these particular processes to store the current or till execution of these processes, so that the execution, wherever they stop the execution, the next time we start that particular process, it can be reloaded and can start from that particular point. For example, suppose a process has completed only 30% of its work and it stops because of some reasons. When that particular process again starts or resumes its activity, we never want that it resumes from 0%. We always want, or we also always want to efficiently use our resources, and we also want the throughput of the system to be maximized. That can only be possible by using all the resources, and the particular process must start from that 30% activity that it has already completed. That can only be done using the process control block. This is the function and feature of the process control block that is attached to each process that is executing in an operating system. And this switching of process P1 to P0 and P0 to P1 is known as context switching. This context switch time is pure overhead, and the system does no useful work while switching between different processes. So we also want to minimize this overhead, or the operating system always wants this overhead to be minimized.